I spy with my little eye.
We're not doing that again.
Well, I'm bored. We've been in here for 3 months, assuming we're following the timeline of the series he's covering.
Look, you knew this was a possibility when you agreed to try and teleport into the station computer in an effort to escape the PC of the guy who makes these and steal his Pringles. Getting stuck in the buffer happened the last time as well. Remember?
I know, he's even reusing the old graphics, the lazy prick. I just didn't expect it to take so long.
We're trying to inject ourselves into an emulated copy of Windows 95, one running on 24th century Cardigan computers, both of which are also entirely fictional. I think it's fair to expect the system to take a while figuring out how that even works. It's probably having an existential crisis on multiple levels.
Mate, I'm a cartoon character voiced by a man I regularly insult. I don't think you need to lecture me on existential crises.
All I'm saying is this might take a while, so you'd best come to terms with it.
Fine. I spy with my
If you finish that sentence, I swear to the prophets I will find a way to stab you. Woof.
Did we ever actually figure out what sparkle space is?
What do you mean?
Well, this is the teleport buffer, right? We're not supposed to be experiencing anything now because we're just a jumble of matter.
I thought we agreed not to try and apply logic to any of these, what with us being cartoon dogs and all.
Yeah, well, there's still gotta be rules. The universe of any story has to have a set of coherent guidelines so it makes sense to viewer. Take ours, for example. We break the fourth wall on the reg, but it's still done in a way that makes it clear we're a separate and distinct place, removed from it all. We're on the border of Trek and reality, if you like, not really existing in either, but able to dip our toes in both.
Is this what happens when you have too much spare time? You start to examine the nature of our existence?
Me brain's only got 2 speeds, mate. Metaphysics and I spy.
Fine. I spy, with my little eye, some...
Is it sparkles?
God damn it. Woof.
He's taking his bloody time on this one, isn't he?
The teleporter guy?
No, the dick who writes these. We should be in the internet by now.
Maybe that's a good thing. Perhaps he's getting something special ready to really sell the story.
Fat chance of that one. I bet the bugger just uses some sort of generic, abstract, tech-looking background. We'll be lucky if he's sufficiently asked to put a pixel filter over us.
In his defense, this whole thing was never meant to be more than a Patreon advert using episode screenshots. Now we're teleporting into the information superhighway to steal his Pringles. I think it's fair to say he probably wasn't prepared for just how much feature creep there's been.
I've got no sympathy for him.
Yes, but you've got no sympathy for anyone.
That's not true. I've got sympathy for me. Anyway, stop sticking up for lad in charge. It's weird.
I'm not sticking up for him. I'm remembering he's got the power to decide what happens next.
You know, now that you mention it, son, that is a fair point, and may I add, also a superb bit of writing on the part of our glorious leader. Subservient wolf. Are we still in here? Christ on a bike.
What happened to the subservience? He's still in charge, you know.
No, I've had enough of that bollocks. He's an hack.
Are you trying to get us killed?
He wouldn't dare. He's been doing these for years now, so we're in full-on sunk cost fallacy land.
You don't know that. Maybe what's coming next is a visual extravaganza, and he's been using the time to prepare.
I mean, the evidence to date doesn't suggest so.
Looks like we're about to find out.
I'm telling you, he'll half-arse it.
Shut up.
Oh, oh look, a generic background with a pixel filter over us. What a masterful gambit, sir, and one nobody could have predicted. Woof. So, this is it then, is it? The internet, circa the late 20th century?
I suppose we should really be thankful it worked at all. He could have made this a lot worse for us.
Worse? I look like I'm being rendered by a fucking Atari 2600.
Oh, boo-hoo. Please, do explain in great detail about your terrible teleporter problem to the guy who doesn't have a goddamned face anymore.
Yeah, alright, point made. Yes, it could have been worse. All I'm saying is this ain't ideal.
What does it matter? We'll only be like this for as long as we're in digital form.
Yeah, and how long's that gonna take? We're already 5 episodes down and we only just got into bloody system. Do you honestly reckon this dingbat can pull off a coherent plot to get us through the internet and out somewhere else in the next 21 parts?
Who said anything about coherent? Woof.
Have you seen any yet, then?
Any what?
Search engines. The things we're going to ride to the GeoCity so we can find a way out of here.
I haven't the foggiest. Maybe we've seen thousands of them. Even if I knew what they look like in the meat world, which, incidentally, I don't, there's no guarantee they'd look the same here.
Right, so what actually was the plan then? I don't mean to be negative or anything, but not knowing how to accomplish the first job on the list does kind of put us at a slight disadvantage.
I thought we'd just, kind of figure it out on the way. That's how Starfleet do it.
Yeah, and look at the casualty rate for that approach. We've not got any extras to throw into Grinder.
I've considered that. In episodes where nobody dies, one of the guys with plot armor just has to suffer a lot.
Hold on a minute, son. Are you saying one of us needs to be the O'Brien?
No, I'm saying thank you for volunteering. Woof. You can do this, buddy. I believe in you.
That's easy for you to say. You're not the one trying to stop internet traffic to flag down a search engine.
Isn't this a normal instinct for you, though? Dogs are supposed to chase traffic.
That's Earth dogs and normal traffic. I'm a digitised copy of an alien canine adjacent species trying to flag down visual representations of data. The two situations don't have an whole lot in common.
Well, that should mean it's safer than a normal road then, right?
Oh yeah, Electric's well known for being perfectly safe. All those warning signs are just for giggles.
Look, we both know this is going to hurt because it's the O'Brien tax, but she'll survive. That's how this works. The sooner you get on with it, the sooner we can get the hell out of here.
Oh, bloody hell. I'll do you for this, you git.
Wow, I didn't know legs could bend that way. Woof. Okay, so what have we learned from our little experiment?
Internet traffic hurts as much as physical traffic.
That's certainly a data point, but not the most important one.
As the one gathering that data, I confess I disagree with your conclusions.
The important data point is that we've learned getting hit by internet traffic doesn't kill you.
You did see what happened to my legs, didn't you?
Yes, and then you were fine again. I can't say I entirely understand why, but if I had to guess, I'd say you reverted to a backup of your data.
So why can I still remember the pain?
Because it's funny?
Typical.
It's also probably part of the O'Brien law.
There's no point in suffering if it don't leave a mark, you mean?
Yep, that's the one. Anyway, we still need to figure out a way to flag down a search engine.
Not to be obvious, but have we tried just asking for one?
Well, that's clearly not going to work. That's about as likely as somebody announcing a new Star Trek Voyager game in 2025.
What we got to lose? Excuse me, may I have a search engine, please?
Bugger me. Woof.
This is a welcome change.
A bus ride?
Well, yeah, but that's not what I meant. I mean, things going right. Based on our luck to date, I didn't really expect this to work.
We've had quite the string of misfortune, haven't we? One might even call it a pattern.
All behind us now, though. We've got ourselves a search engine and we're on our way to the GeoCity. Things are looking up for... Hold on a minute. Do we have a collective name?
A what?
A name fit pair of us.
Why would we need that?
So I know what to call us.
Why would you? Actually, I don't care. Whatever. No, we don't have a collective name.
How about the Credit Canines?
How about no?
What's wrong with it?
For a start, I'm not technically a dog.
Well, neither am I, you picky twat.
Okay, at least make it the Patreon puppies.
Trust me, mate, that's got very different overtones.
Then we'll stick with Space Dog and Computer.
No, suit yourself. Anyway, things are looking up for Space Dog and Computer.
Unless, of course, this is just a false lull in the unending tide of awful.
How would you say that?
Because it's just occurred to me that we saw one of these things crash only 2 videos ago.
I told you we're painful, didn't I?
Credit where it's due. If anything, you actually undersold it. I had no idea quite how excruciating the injuries in here feel.
At least we know the respawn thing which happened to me works for you as well now.
Small mercies, I guess. What's the plan now then?
Wait a minute, what's that over there?
What's what over where?
That thing over there! The one that's just out of shot, so the guy who makes these has got the whole weekend to figure out a new background.
Oh, that thing. If I didn't know any better, I'd say it might be the fabled GeoCity.
Who knew it'd look like that?
Certainly not anybody involved in these videos.
Shall I call another search engine to drive us over there, or...?
Jesus Christ, no.
Yeah, walking it is then. Woof.
So, this is part of the GeoCity, is it?
Looks that way, aye.
I ask because it looks like a stock photo of a back alley.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
I can't help but note it's not exactly a welcoming back alley either.
It does carry an into nefarious deeds, doesn't it? Still, we should give it a chance.
A chance to do what? Steal our kidneys?
I'm just saying, we don't know anything about this place or who lives here, so we should stop being negative and find out more.
We're going to get stabbed, aren't we?
Probably, yeah. Woof. Did you find anything useful?
Not particularly, just more alleys.
Yeah, same. You can tell people used to live round here, but they've all buggered off somewhere else.
Are we sure we've got the right place? The book I read said that the GeoCity was a bustling hub of activity.
This book of yours is reliable, is it? A trustworthy tome of wisdom?
The title suggested it promised to turn even the most ignorant user into a technical wizard.
Intricately researched and filled with up-to-date information, I imagine, as well.
It was published near the start of the year 2000, and the patchy data I have on the period shows it was a time of massive growth for the internet. Logic suggests the GeoCity could only have expanded significantly in the 25 years since.
Sounds reasonable to me. Maybe that's the answer, and this is just the outskirts of a bustling metropolis.
Okay then, let's try and find the center.
No need, mate. We can just ask those buzzards circling over us which way it is. Oh.
Look, I'm just going the way those buzzards told me. You were there too, you know.
I'm not denying that. All I'm saying is that this completely different alley seems very much similar to the one we were in previously.
Yeah, but we already established a couple of videos back that we checked and found out but more alleys.
It's not a plot error if we covered it.
Sounds like the guy making these is a lazy arsehole.
It's that too, yeah.
So how far are we gone, do you think?
Why would I know?
Because you're a computer.
No, I was a computer previously. Now I'm a cartoon dog. My suite of sensors are on a ship that is both tens of thousands of light years away, and also entirely fictional. Additionally, this body experiences the world through the whispers of tormented spirits living in my eye sockets. Under the circumstances, navigation is perhaps not a task best suited to my particular skill set.
More walking it is then.
Whoa.
After a full week of walking, I've got to be honest with you, I'm not entirely convinced we're making progress.
It does look very similar to where we started, doesn't it? I don't understand. I've been following directions the whole way.
Wait, what? You've been following directions for an entire week? How's that even possible?
They were nice and simple directions.
The buzzards told me to just keep turning left.
Hold on, we've just been turning left every time we get to a junction?
Yeah, I mean it makes sense, don't it?
That's how you get out of mazes.
We're not in a maze. We're in a city. A city with blocks. Square blocks. Square blocks where if you turn left 4 times, you just end up back where you started.
Oh. You know, now that you mention it, that does explain a lot.
Jesus Hannibal Christ. Have we been going in circles for a whole goddamned week?
Technically no.
We've been going in squares. Oh.
Bugger me, a new background.
That must mean we're making progress.
Or the guy who makes these knew he couldn't get away with just flipping the old one again.
Probably, but I'm trying to stay positive.
There's Pringles in that city.
How do we reconcile knowing these backgrounds were made by the guy we're on our way to rob?
Doctor Who approach, mate. Just ignore it.
Isn't that insulting the viewers?
Yeah, but that's just a bonus.
What do you reckon we'll find in the center of the GeoCity then?
I get the distinct feeling it will very much depend on stock photo libraries.
Not necessarily. He might pay to get some art made for it.
You do know these cartoon versions of us are 2 years old at this point, right?
Fair point well made, son.
Whoa.
Is it just me, or are these backgrounds getting more and more grim?
Honestly, I've kind of lost track. For a computer from the 24th century, this whole internet thing looks like one giant slum.
Don't these videos use the internet?
I rest my case.
Yeah, I walked into that one, didn't I?
That still beats walking here.
Yeah, alright, son, you've made your point. The sooner we find civilization, the sooner we can get out of here and into the real world.
About that, I know your initial plan is to steal a shitload of Pringles.
It's not theft, son, it's unpaid wages. I'm seizing the means of snacking.
Okay, but what if the guy who makes these tries to stop us?
As employees, we'll calmly explain the reasons for our grievances and convince him that we should be sharing the benefits.
Oh, That's actually a lot more reasonable than I'd anticipated.
I can do reasonable. By the way, have you ever dug a grave before?
What?
Nothing. Whoa.
I'm sure these backgrounds keep getting worse.
Do you think he's doing it to dick with us?
Maybe, but there's probably a plot reason to go with it as well.
We have a plot?
We've had loads.
They've just all been shite.
You'd think after this long, they'd be getting better.
Hold on, that's the answer.
That he's a hack, yes, I'd figured that out.
No, not the dingbat who writes these. I mean the GeoCity. What is it you said? You'd think after this long they'd be getting better? Well, they should be, shouldn't they? The streets, I mean. If the outskirts are abandoned and we're heading inwards, we should be seeing things improve. Instead, it's just getting worse.
Ha! That's actually a pretty astute observation. I'm not sure I like the implications, though.
It is a bit worrying, isn't it? Still, we might as well finish the job now.
You mean carry on to the center? What if it's dangerous?
Then I guess we'll see how many respawns it takes us to get the bloody hell out of here. Oh.
I know this isn't technically real, and the whole respawn thing means we can't actually die, but should we start thinking about arming ourselves?
It's getting a bit grim, isn't it?
But we've still not actually seen a threat.
The search engine crash we were in felt pretty threatening.
How would weapons have stopped that?
Okay, what about those buzzards? They were dicks to us.
Aye, but they didn't actually attack.
All I'm saying is I'd feel more comfortable with something to defend myself.
Would you, though?
What's that supposed to mean?
It means, would you actually feel safer relying on anything you found here? Everything we've seen so far has been buggered or hostile. Who's to say the piece of lead piping you try to swing won't turn into a snake and bite your balls or some shite?
Great, now you've given me another thing to worry about. Woof.
You know, I could live with all this walking if it were on something a bit more comfortable. Nice bit of grass maybe, or some decking. I'd settle for bare concrete at this point. These rocks are doing a proper number on the pads of my feet. How are you not complaining?
Because they're not real feet. Just remember that the signals you're processing are simulated, and shunt them straight to storage when you reach the part of the data to do with physical sensation.
Yeah, I can't do the old there is no spoon bollocks. Maybe it's 'cause physical bodies are new to you.
I had a physical body when I was a computer too, you know. It's just that the body was a starship.
Don't be pedantic, lad. It's not like you spent a lot of time worrying about rocks under your feet.
Actually, if you go back and rewatch the finale of Season 2, you'll find that I used my feet to land on a particularly rocky planet when the crew—
Shut up a second.
How rude.
Shut up.
Can you hear that?
All I can hear is you being rude.
Listen. Is that a voice?
We showed them good. We showed them good. I mean, why'd they even call it logging in the first place?
Is it just me, or does this guy sound a bit,
Why are they even giving cats cheeseburgers in the first place? That's animal cruelty.
Out of his tree?
diplomatically put?
I mean, you've got a point, but he's also the only person we've come across in this whole place. Except the buzzards, obviously, but they were dickheads. That makes him the best chance we've got for figuring out what to do next.
Badgers and snakes I can understand, but why the mushrooms?
Call me a pessimist, but I'm not 100% convinced he'll be a reliable source of accurate data.
Look, you're assuming he's going to be a problem when we don't know that for certain.
Maybe it's all the time I've spent around Starfleet rubbing off on me.
But I think we should give the lad a chance for reasonable, rational communication.
I'll give you a brick, you goddamn son of a bitch.
And if he tries anything?
I'll go for his balls and you tear his throat out. Whoa.
Reviews of old TV shows? Who the hell's gonna watch that trash?
How do, mate?
Don't startle him for Christ's sake.
Well, looky here, new users. We hadn't had any of those since, well now, let me see. It would have been back in '09. Yeah, that's it. When those bastards at Yahoo turned traitor. I'm guessing they must have seen the error of their ways and turned the tap back on.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, I don't suppose you know a way out of here, do you?
Out? But you only just got here. Don't you want to see the animated GIFs?
GIFs? I mean, no thanks. We're just passing through.
Yeah, we're only looking for an exit, mate. You know, from Tinternet.
The exit, you say? Well, maybe I know where such a thing is, and maybe I don't. I guess it kinda depends.
On what?
whether or not you want to watch some animated GIFs with me.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, what my colleague meant to say is, we'd love to. Woof.
Personally, I never really saw the appeal of that one. Dancing hamsters is just silly as far as I'm concerned.
Please kill me.
And then there was that one about a guy buying a bass or something. I didn't understand that one.
Absolutely fascinating. So, anyway, about that exit.
And then there was me, of course. They called me the dancing baby. Hold on and I'll give you a demonstration. And just give me a second to get all these clothes off and find my diaper.
Sweet merciful Christ, no.
I mean, we do have time if he really wants to.
I said no.
All right, fine. I think we'll pass, mate.
I was a big thing, you know. Internet royalty. Traveled everywhere in my own Rafflecopter. Those were the days back when memes were funny. Not like the nonsense these young'uns go for today. I mean, what the hell even is a skibbity?
Oh crap, we're losing him.
Stay with us, son.
And he's right there in the pan. That's just unsanitary. What are you teaching kids by doing that? Look, if you got fond memories of getting swerved...
No, too late. He's gone again.
That's
Woof.
on you. Don't subject the rest of us to it, you goddamn weirdo. You see, the comedy comes from the whole room being on fire, but this little guy's just dissociating from that and believing everything's okay.
Are we even registering with him anymore?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
But it actually goes deeper because it's a commentary on our own world going to hell, and us being expected to not only carry on as though nothing's happening, but to actively convince ourselves it's normal.
Hey, buddy, are you even listening to us?
Do you need us to call a doctor?
Of course I can hear you. You're standing right in front of me, aren't you? Anyways, what the average internet user today don't understand is just how inherently funny frogs are. They had to go and make him all Nazi and shit. God dang incels.
Right, I think it's time to call this one a bust.
I say we bite him anyway just to see what happens.
Best not, mate. We don't know if it's catching. Well, we're off then, son. You enjoy your sitting here and talking shite.
You're leaving, but I was just getting to the part where everybody went away. You know, through the exit.
Fine, but you've only got 3 more of these before the end of season,
So you best get your bloody skates on. Woof.
It started slow at first, a user here or there going off to try the alternatives to having your own dedicated place on the internet, your MySpaces and your Facebooks and the like.
The book I read didn't mention anything about that.
Social networks, they called them, as though this place right here weren't just that. Dang sight more social than those places are turned into anyhow.
So these other bits are where everybody is now.
Pretty much, yeah.
That explains why this place is a deserted wasteland.
And why we've been able to hear traffic in distance, but nothing stops here.
Wait, it was vehicle noise that's been playing in the background the whole time?
I think so, yeah. I assume the guy who makes these was trying to make a pun about internet traffic or something.
This place ain't had a user for many a year. That's why I was so excited to see you two. And I've been so lonely.
I mean, you could always come with us.
Really?
Yeah, screw it, why not?
Space Dog, Computer, and the artist formerly known as Dancing Baby.
Oh my God, I'm finally leaving this dump.
I thought you said it were better here.
Are you kidding? This place is a shithole. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Right then, so we just need to summon up a search engine and go to the nearest social media site, yes?
Yep, don't really matter which one. They're all a mixture of pornography, adverts, and white supremacy.
And you think we'll be able to find an exit from the internet in there?
Trust me, social media has its tendrils spread into pretty much every aspect of life.
Sounds like a piece of piss. Thanks, lad.
Yes, We genuinely appreciate you helping us.
Well, it might not be as simple as all that. These places ain't always on the up and up, if you get me. We have to keep an eye out for thieves and con artists and the like.
Oh, con artists, you say?
Look, I said I was sorry about the Dominion publishing thing.
Don't worry, boys. Knowing to be careful is the most important part. We'll be fine.
Hey, I'm looking forward to this now.
Off you pop and pack your bags, lad, and we'll be ready to go.
The three of us are about to hit the internet for realsies. Oh.
I can't wait to be on the road with you guys. I've been alone so long that I'm fit to bursting with social energy. Nothing but non-stop talks about how memes used to be great and today's young'uns are wrong about everything. And I brought all of my photo albums of animated GIFs so we can look through them all whenever we're resting. Best of all, we'll be able to show off my dancing skills to every single place we stop. The whole internet's going to associate the two of you with the famous diaper guy. Isn't that great? I'm going to love spending every single second with the both of you. We'll be completely inseparable.
Do you think we did the right thing by...
Yes, we did.
Yeah, it's probably for best, isn't it?